This is the Skip Bayless Show, brought to you by Underdog. And speaking of underdogs, all you need to know about what's really wrong with the college football playoffs is that James Madison University is a 21.5-point underdog at Oregon in an opening round college football playoffs game. And I believe Oregon will win that game by 40. And all you need to know about what's wrong with the college football playoffs is that Tulane opened as a 16.5-point underdog at Ole Miss. And that if Lane Kiffin were still coaching Ole Miss, I believe that spread would be 21.5 points, favoring the home team Ole Miss in a first-round game. Because during the year, Ole Miss already beat Tulane 45-10. So all you need to know about what's really, really wrong with the 12-team college football playoffs is not Miami over Notre Dame. It's that somehow James Madison and Tulane stole two of the slots, one of which obviously should have gone to Notre Dame. All you need to know about what's really, really wrong is that the committee did the best it could do. We could argue several of the decisions made, the choices made, but it did the best it could do given the handicaps of the rules requiring that the 5 highest ranked conference champions get into the 12-team field. That's the joke. James Madison, no offense to them. I'm sure there are a lot of fine people at James Madison, and I know there are a lot of fine people at Tulane because I know a lot of them. No offense to them, but neither belongs in the college football playoff. Every point spread in the first round of the college football playoff should be 3 or less because you should have, obviously, the top 12 teams in America. This doesn't need to be college basketball. It's like college football is clinging to dear life as the last bastion of student athletes. We're different than the National Football League. We don't do pro football. No, we are come on. We give everybody a chance in both football and basketball and obviously all the other sports. Everybody gets to play. It's a democracy. It's America. No, it's not, because football is not basketball. Yes. A big part of the charm and appeal of March Madness are the Cinderellas, the George Masons, the Florida Gulf Coast, the St. Peters, the Chicago Loyolas. Yes. Every year there's a Cinderella that pops up out of nowhere. Why? Because only 5 players can play at once. And if you have one pretty to very good player, or you have a couple of older players, 24, 25-year-old players who have been around forever, who have hot hands at the right place at the right time, you can get on a roll in college basketball's postseason tournament. March is truly madness because of that. But football, obviously, you have 22 players who play. And all any of us really care about in college football is that the 12 best teams in America get into the tournament because there are no Cinderellas. There might be some upsets. There might be an upset run by, let's say, a Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is really good, underrated good. I don't think there's any Cinderella going on there at all. I just think they're a legit threat to win it all, even out of the Big 12. But my point is, the Sun Belt and the American Conference don't deserve to have a team in the field unless something happens miraculously where one of those teams go 12-0 and maybe schedules a non-conference against one of these football powerhouses, these legitimate blue bloods who all belong in this field, and they show you that they're that good during the regular season. I'm sorry, these two teams, James Madison, as great as they were this year, and Tulane, as very good as they were this year. Okay, James Madison lost at Louisville 28-14. You're out. You're done. Tulane, I just mentioned 45-10 at Ole Miss. Tulane lost at UT San Antonio, UTSA, 48-26. You're out. UTSA finished 6-6. Don't belong. You stole a spot because the rules required that you get that spot from a Texas or a Vanderbilt or a Notre Dame. This isn't church league. This isn't everybody gets a participation trophy. This isn't college basketball. This is blue-blooded college football. Nobody cares about JMU or Tulane getting in this tournament except a very few people affiliated with those schools. That's it. They will be one and very done. They will be an embarrassment to the college football playoffs. College football is still dearly clinging to this notion that we set ourselves apart from pro football, above pro. No, you don't. You're just a younger version of pro football. That's all you are. That's all you become. Finally, the courts forced you to pay these kids the way you should have been paying them. I've been campaigning for 40 years for this? You should have been 50 years ago. You should have been paying these kids to play pro football for your academic institutions. Do any of these kids even go to school anymore? I don't know, and I don't care. They're just professional athletes, younger versions of NFL players, representing schools as hired guns, if you will. I know the NCAA despises that concept, but that's what it has become with the NIL money. They're just getting paid for their services because they are providing extreme entertainment. I love college football. I watch it. You can ask my wife to a fault. I watch it like crazy. I'm out here in Los Angeles from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday. I'm glued to the television set watching college football, in part to see who can play pro football, in part to do that, but in part just because it's in my blood. I was taken by my grandfather to my first game at the University of Oklahoma, growing up in Oklahoma City, when I was 5 years of age. I saw one of the great upsets in the history of college football. I saw Notre Dame end Oklahoma's 47-game win streak. That'll never happen again. With a 7-0 win in Norman. Notre Dame 7, Oklahoma nothing. It was blue bloods. It was football powerhouses. It was tradition. And it got in my blood. And I still religiously follow my Oklahoma Sooners. And then I went away to school to Vanderbilt and my Vanderbilt Commodores. I'll get to them in just a second. But my point is that even if we expanded the field to 16 teams or 24 teams for college football, even if we did that, it wouldn't matter, because there would always be an argument about who the 16th team was or the 24th team was. And I swear to you that the committee knows this, and it's an unwritten rule that they do one outrageous thing. One highly debatable choice is made because it's part of the appeal of the college football playoffs, just the way the Cinderellas are in college basketball. The appeal is that it's Americana to have a controversy, a nationally debated snub. It's like it's as traditional as eggnog and fruitcake and now Target and Walmart ads leading up to, starting before Thanksgiving, leading up to Christmas. It's just part of the appeal is to have outrage over, wait, Miami got in over Notre Dame? Well, obviously the controversy was set up by the committee because they kept ranking, starting with the initial ranking, which had Notre Dame, 8 slots ahead of Miami? And they just kept ranking all the way through each week after week after week. They kept ranking Notre Dame above Miami and then jerked the rug out from under everybody and said, nope, Miami's in, Notre Dame is out. And obviously, there's one criteria that works for that. And it goes back to, what was it, August 31st? Yeah, August 31st at Miami. Miami beat Notre Dame 27-24. 27-24. And then Notre Dame went home and lost to Texas A&M 41-40. And then Notre Dame went on and won 10 straight games. Though no hugely impressive wins in those 10. They beat 2 quote-unquote ranked teams. They beat USC at home 34-24 when USC was ranked 20th. They won at Pitt 37-15. Pitt was ranked 22nd. Okay. But still, they jerked the rug out from under us and created the national uproar simply because they said, whoops, April Fools, or January Fools, as we build to January. No, we're just going on head to head. We're just going to revert all the way back to August 31st, and we're going to put Miami in over Notre Dame. Okay. Again, it felt like a setup to me. It felt like this was planned from the start just to create an uproar that creates more attention, more publicity, feeds the beast that is the college football playoffs. It's part of the process. I don't have a huge problem with Miami over Notre Dame just because Miami did beat Notre Dame. And don't get me started on my school, Vanderbilt. I won't bore you with the details, but just if you want to take a second, go look at the resumes. Tell me Vanderbilt's not better than Notre Dame right here, right now. Tell me that I get Jeremiah Love. I appreciate Jeremiah Love. He's really good. He's at the Heisman ceremony this weekend, as is my quarterback, Diego Pavia. My offense at Vanderbilt is far more explosive than Notre Dame's offense. Trust me on that. The degree of difficulty that we face running the SEC gauntlet, it's just stronger than Notre Dame's schedule. It just is. We could argue this all day and all night, but my school went to Alabama and came very close to being up 14-0. Diego Pavia got stripped of the ball at the 5-yard line. And then they took over the game. We went to Texas. They took over for a while, and then we roared back, and we had our hands on an onside kick. If we hold on and recover, we're going to win the game because Diego Pavia is out of his mind. We lost 34-31 at Texas. Those are our 2 losses. We ran that SEC gauntlet. And go back and look at those wins over Missouri and LSU at Tennessee. Just go back and look at the Auburn. Auburn's loaded with NFL talent. I'm sorry, Vanderbilt's better. Then brings me to Texas. Texas just beat Texas A&M. If you put Texas in over Texas A&M, I would have had no problem with it because Texas right now is just better. I want to see Arch Manning in the college football playoffs. I'm sorry, I don't want to see him in some minor weird bowl game. I want to watch him see if he can make a run in this tournament. You want to talk about a real live Cinderella? He would be a Cinderfella in this tournament because he started to get a hold of it. He started to figure out how to play after sitting for 2 years behind Quinn Ewers at Texas, which was stunning to me, and getting off to such a rocky start, starting with the game at Ohio State. You know, again, they scheduled that. They scheduled their L, and they lived with it because they're not in the tournament. They belong in the tournament. The point is, if you take out JMU and Tulane, now you can free it up. Now you could put, if you so choose, you could put Notre Dame in just because Notre Dame is college football. I got no problem with that. You want to talk about tradition? They're blue-blooded green. That's what they are. They're green as leprechauns, but they're blue as blood. Blue-blooded. If you want to put Notre Dame in, it just works. It just reeks of college football tradition. I'm fine with that. Texas belonged in the tournament. JMU or Tulane or Texas? Stop it. It's an embarrassment. It's a joke. You're hanging on to the past, or you're trying to make yourself a March Madness kind of tournament. It doesn't work in football. You only have 12 teams to start with. College basketball has 68 teams. You can throw in all kinds of potential Cinderellas. It's part of the Americana appeal of March Madness. Fine. But it doesn't work in college football. You've got to undo it. You've got to. The committee should be commissioned just to go find the best 12 teams. And inevitably, if you're going to expand to 16 or 24 or whatever you're going to do, inevitably there's going to be an argument about the last team in. But at least this field would look a whole lot better. Let's just do. I'll exclude my rooting interest. If you just put in Notre Dame and Texas right now in place of JMU and Tulane, it's beautiful. It's right. It's still somewhat debatable for Vanderbilt, and we could throw in a BYU if you want to. But no, this works. That's what should have happened. That's what's wrong. We can debate all we want about that last slot, but you know and I know that James Madison and Tulane just don't belong. We have to do away with it. This isn't come one, come all. This isn't give me your wretched refuse yearning to breathe free. That's not America. This is America. This is blue-blooded. These are the powerhouses. These are the pro pipelines. Our college football is just a younger version of pro football. Face up to it. It's just a feeder system. It's a minor league, but it's not minor. It's a major minor league. It's just a pipeline to pro football. Just to see which of the kids can play and which can't. There's nothing wrong with that. If they want to go to school, they go to school. If they don't want to go to school, they don't go to school, and nobody penalizes them for it. Everybody, including my school, especially my school, Vanderbilt, has relaxed their admission standards for athletes. It's finally becoming what it really was supposed to be all along, what it was in disguise all along. It's just another NFL, and it's beautiful. And at least you have your regional ties to smaller town schools. You have a school in Norman, Oklahoma. You have a school in Austin, Texas. You have these schools in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and they're pro football teams for these regions. And it's great. It's beautiful. It's what it should be. But just accept it, acknowledge it, and don't keep trying to play the student-athlete game, because it doesn't exist anymore. It's over. The truth is, I can't wait for the college football playoffs, but I won't watch I might just for amusement watch a couple series of JMU at Oregon. I mean, what if that were Texas at Oregon? Would you watch? Yes, you would watch. What would the point spread be? Texas at Oregon right now. Texas at Oregon. Oregon by 3, 4, maybe. Not by 21.5. Come on, college football. Just wake up, grow up, leave the past behind, and give your customers, and they are customers, give them what they want, what they deserve. They're with you all season long. Don't bite the hand that feeds you by trying to feeding them JMU and Tulane. You just got to stop it. That's how you fix college football.